Hello everyone, welcome to day 3 of our Lust of Linux series. I hope you are doing well. You can see my screen and I'm properly audible to you. Please quickly give me a reaction. All right, so let's begin with today's topic. So once again, I welcome you to our Lust of Linux series, everything you need to know about Linux to get started. And today is our day 3 file and directory management. And in previous day 2 over here, where we completed the directory management, and today we are going to start the file management. So that we will see. If you are interested what we have done in day 1, so you could watch this video where I have explained everything to set up virtual machine, what is virtual machine, what is virtualization, and so on and so forth. And if you could not wait for this series, then you could also watch the other videos as well. Additionally, if you're interested, to go ahead with other videos as well. So let's talk about today's agenda, what we will learn today. So of course, today's main agenda is file management, and in this we start with essential about the file. So there are some commands which are very helpful when you are working with the files, so you must know those commands, and then we will see how we can edit the file. And of course, throughout this we would be having a quizzes, and we will wrap up the session with the um, summary what we have learned today. Additionally, uh, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in comments. I would try to answer in Q&A session, or I would say Q&A time. All right. So let's begin with, but before that, I would like to mention this is our LinkedIn group for after this streaming, when you're watching, or if you want to connect, if you have any questions for the discussion, you could do with the other members as well. So please join over here. This is our LinkedIn group. I'll post the link in the description. Additionally, these are our social media handles. Would love to stay in touch with you. And all the codes, commands, notes will be shared using our GitHub repository. You could find it over here, DSOQ. And there is, if you are interested to do more quizzes, so we are posting every day quizzes on our Instagram. So feel free to participate there as well. So enough on this, let's begin. So in this very first thing, so this is a small script which I have just written. So what it does, it creates some of the directories and some lines and put inside the file that we will be using for our example. And if we go in this one, so last time when we learned in day 2, okay, how we use ls, so this is the main parent directory, and recursively we are seeing the output generated by the script. I will also share the script via GitHub notes, and there is a file, okay, inside dsocube slash dsocube dash dir1 and dsocube directory 2. Inside that we have a file, this one. Okay, in directory 1 we have file this one, dsocube directory 1 dash file 1. So we will be using for this further examples. So let's begin. So very first command is a cat command. So cat command is basically used to concatenate and displays the contents of the file. Yes, we first understand what command we are going to use and what command it means, and after that, one second guys. All right. Sorry about that. So I was talking about the structure. We will first understand the command. After that, we will also do the hands-on or practical. I will share the command with you. You could simply also do the follow along with me and take the most out of this live session. Okay. So very first thing is the cat command. Let me put in a chat. Okay. So cat. It's very simple, three letters. And so here there are two terms. One is the concatenate and one is to display content of the file. So where it shows the content of the file. So on the terminal, for example, if you have any file and if you want to see it, so you could just put like this. Here is the syntax. If we see cat, then options. So we are coming on that. We'll discuss the what are the options, very helpful and useful. Then you have to provide a file name. There is another option which says concatenate. So concatenate means when you are taking an output of multiple files. So it combine all the outputs of the file in one, and you could see everything on the terminal itself. Okay, so there are for two purpose here I mentioned. One more thing where you could use cat command to create a file as well when you do not have any editor. Okay, especially when you go or if you are working on container, in that case you do not have any, and if you don't want to increase the size of your Docker container image, then in that case you could also use cat command to create a file and put some content in that. We will see that shortly. But before that, I would like to show some of the very good options. Especially these options are very helpful when you are working with the files and processing the files and filtering the data, or maybe you are doing code analysis, or maybe you are doing log analysis. These files are really, really helpful, especially when you work with the files where you have the um, different kind of data. So let's see very first option. So that's what I said. When you have to read the file, you simply get out file like this, cat, and the name of the file. My file is at this location, okay, which is created by the script. And here if we see line number 1 and up to line number 20. Okay, so when I execute this command, I get the output like this. But when I use the dash n option along with the cat command, then it gives the number all output lines. So it gives the number to each and every line which is displayed. So if you see over here, we cannot find, like if you see why there are some space in between, right? So basically these are not space, these are two empty lines where there is no content. Okay, similarly we also have something like over here, but this here it's obvious, right? Line 2 and line 3, there is some difference, but you cannot see what happened over here. But when you use something option dash n, then you get to know, okay, these are the multiple lines I have in my document, right? So this is really, really helpful. But if you are processing a file for any data related purpose, or I don't know the use case, okay, you know the option, and when you work on this, you will get to know this as well. And next, if I use dash b option, then dash b option only give me number non-blank lines. Okay, so 1 2, and for example, like I said, when application creates lots of logs and you're doing log analysis, I use this personally in when I working with the log files. I use this so I can get, I mean, then I know, okay, this many number of lines, I have the important, rest I don't. So dash b option is very handy in that case. It gives the exact number of lines. And actually these options also very helpful when you are working with the bash scripting or shell scripting. Okay, and by the way, yesterday a session couldn't continue due to some technical reasons, so my apologies for that. And one of the viewer has asked, are we going to cover shell scripting in this? So I would say we are preparing a foundation for that. If you are interested to learn shell scripting, I have very, very extensive experience with the shell scripting and the Python. And if you want to learn that, please let me know so we can plan ahead and also notify you about that. If you want to learn bash scripting, please feel free to drop your suggestion in the comments. Okay, so let's come back to the point. So I was talking about non-blank number. of the line. So I know I have only 10 useful line in entire file, right? So what I could do, I have another option dash s, which is squish or combine, okay, multiple lines, empty lines into one. So when I use cat dash s, and so it will give me something like that. So it just combine or merge line number 3 and 4 like this and like this. So now we can combine, okay, both the options like this. So now what happened, it has given a number, okay, because of dash n I have a number line number 3, and here I have a line number 12. So this combines the line, two lines into one, and this one as well. This is very helpful. Maybe you're wondering what these options are or where you will use, but when you work with the file, okay, and the files created by application where you have a lot of data, okay, we will see one more option again. So this is one of the option. Next option is dash a. Okay, so basically you don't use one option, okay, you use multiple options like this. For example, dash s, dash n, and dash a. Okay, this is also helpful when you are doing, like I say, code analysis, log analysis, or filtering the data. In that, this is very helpful. What you could do, you could use a dash a option, which shows all the characters including non-printable character, okay, and at end of the line character as well. So you may find, okay, what are the other contents are there which are not helpful to you, okay, so you can quickly or easily clean them. Okay, so I will come on that later, but this time to go ahead and see this in action, hands-on. But before that, guys, uh, do you have any question about the cat command? What cat command does? So for whatever I have explained. All right, so I take it as a no. Feel free to drop your questions in the chat box. Chat is available. I'm also watching the chats as well. All right, so let's go ahead and see the cat command in action. All right, so for that, what we will do, mm, okay, we have already this file. Let me show you what I have created. Okay, this is not so helpful, I guess. Okay, let me do one thing for. mm, Let's create a file with 20 entries that we could use. I'm also sharing this with you, so you can also generate from your side, and I will explain you what it is gonna do. And let's say output.txt file. Okay, for I in 1 to 20, do echo line da 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 da. Okay, all right. Let me copy it and paste it for you. Let me share here. But first let me check whether we got this or not. Okay, so let me check. So we know this option. Okay, so recently this file is created. Let me check out. All right, so we have this option. This is script is working. So here what I have done. All right, let me show you again. Okay, so this is basically a simple one-liner shell script, okay, which perform of course loop 1 to 20, and we are doing echo and echo line, okay, and $I. So whatever value of I, it is going to be put inside output file, and that's what we, sorry, not this one, output.txt. Okay, so we have 20 lines in this, so you could simply copy, um, I mean, not copy, you could simply get out the file if you want to read. But if you see here, the what's the problem? It shows all the content of the screen. Okay, this is one of the way. Next way, let me show you one more way about the cat. Mm, yeah, so this is one of the way. okay, to read the file. Second thing, what you could do if you want to create any file. Okay, so let me say cat dash file, or let's give it a name. Hmm, why not cat dash file dot txt. So what happened here, it is asking for us, okay, for the more input. And if you remember, when we learn about in day two, right, the prompt, about the prompt, then I told you dollar is the standard prompt, hash is the root prompt, and we also saw about the percent, that is C, and incomplete, right, where shell is expecting us to provide more input, right? So what here, this is the same, right? So here it's expecting we should provide some input to it. So we could say something like that. mm, okay, hello from me, this occupation, right? And hit enter. If you want to add more line, you have to put second line. Okay, and similarly, once you are done with the file, okay, after that you have to press control, okay, whether you are on Mac or Windows or Linux, any keyboard, control and D. Okay, then what happened, ls dash t. Okay, so we have this file over here, right? So we can do something like get, and we can see the content of the file. Next time what I can do, again I want to do something like this. So hello again. All right, and control D. Okay, so let me first give this command to you, so if you are following along, so you could do the practice on your side. Mm, all right, here we go. Okay, so now we are going to read this file again. Okay, cat file txt, and now if you see what just happened, content has overwritten. Okay, before I just put this message, and now it has this message, and I really don't want that. So in that case, what happened? For example, let me put it again. Oh, sorry, not cat. Okay, so cat.txt, and let's copy this so I do not have to paste, and let me do it something like that. So now if I read this file, so I have this content, but in order to append, okay, if you want to append anything in your file, maybe we learn this more. If you suggest about the bash scripting, then in that case what happened, we are appending. Okay, so I put like this, and I will say hi again, and control D, and this time when we read the file, we have both the lines. Okay, so in this way you can create file. Okay, so this is very helpful when you are working in a container or in an environment where you do not have any editor. So far we didn't see any way to create a file. Okay, so this is one of the way. So cat is a way, or I would say cat is one of the way by which you can concatenate as well as see the or read the output, but on the terminal. Okay, so we have two files, so let's see the concatenation. What happened, I put the this file first, which has this content, and next file this one. Okay, so it has combined output of both and give me on the screen. Okay, so this is the concatenation operation, and we also learn how we can create files using the cat command. All right, so this much is enough on the cat, and we will move forward to the next topic. But before that, again, I would like to ask you if you have any questions. Guys, please participate, so I will feel like somebody is there, otherwise I will feel I'm talking alone. Okay, okay, so I consider the, or I take it as a no, there is no question. let's go ahead and see what do we have next. So next we will see the less command. Okay, so less command, it's another utility which is very helpful. I use a lot. Okay, and which is also give you the same. Okay, so less is used to view the content of a files on a screen at a time. Okay, so what does it mean on screen at a time? So we are coming on that, but let's first understand the syntax. So syntax is like this: less, option, and file, similar to cat. Okay, in you make yourself with the familiar with the convention. Okay, options in Linux, something is written like this. For example, um, if I put for this, okay, less than what you could see here. Okay, here is the option command, and okay, synopsis are there. You could find how you can use further things. Okay, so let's come back. Let's first understand, and then we will go back over here and we will see. All right, so less command, and here we have some of the options. Okay, and I will show you. You can try for your on these options. Okay, but I will show you some other options. So less is one of the command to see the file. Second is also more. So more is very old, or one of the old command, I would say, to read the file, okay, on the screen on at a time, and it also has the same of syntax. Okay, so let's see both together how this works in action. So when I say more, and okay, so let's see output file. So you could see to in order to have to come to the or see the next line, I press enter. Okay, and if I press B, it will go up, and I press B, it goes down, and then after that I got exited. And if you want to quit the file, you could press Q, and you will come out from the file. This is very handy in case like you are working on any of the configuration, and if you want to quickly check any um, other file. So instead of putting on the text like this, right? So for example, if I open this file, what was this one, and for example, if this file contains password, okay, so if I scroll for any of the reason, okay, if I scroll up, and so I'm just giving you, maybe it's a very bad example, but just uh, came up in my mind. So what happened, this is the content, these are on the screen, and until and unless you get rid of this screen, this content will keep on displaying over here. Okay, rather I could use this command. So quickly I check, okay, this is my password, let me copy and quit. After that, you only see what file I have checked. Okay, so just it's an example. So this is the thing, when you are you want to quickly refer any of the file, you could use that. So I told you, one is the more command. Okay, another one is the uh, less command. So less command, let's see this one, output. And in this, what happened, when you enter, you go line by line, but when you press B, okay, so we do not have much over here. Let's copy one file, SSH and SSH config, and let's copy this over here. So less SSH. All right, so we have lots of content. Okay, and I think these are, we will see the how many lines we have, but it's very good. If I want to move or read the file, I can hit enter. If I want to go back, I have option B. If I want to search anything in it, so I have this option. Okay, and I press N, and I can find more, and pattern not found further. So this facility or these features are not with the more. And if I show you the main page of this, so more display the content of a file in a terminal. Okay, and if I show you the main page for less, so it says opposite of more. Okay, so it's more powerful and more, it has more utility. So these are the option. If you want, you can read about it more. Okay, and additionally, after this, you can also open, when you press, I think V, there is an option, then you can open a file into that. I'm not gonna do that because it will it won't open into the editor. We are coming on that shortly. And here it has other options if you want to read about, but yeah, I use less because uh, it's my personal preference. I have explained both of you. I mean, both, not both of you, both the commands. So go ahead and you can get more information over here. Okay. So now please, we have one question. Thank you, Suraj, first of all, joining and asking the question. His question is, I'm new to Linux, don't know anything about it. I'll tag along with you. Uh, so we don't do stream every day. We do stream twice in a week. Okay, and the reason is so you could do practice, because there is no point to, for example, doing things every day. Okay, but yes, apart from that, as I mentioned, we are also sharing the quizzes. That is more than enough to keep you busy until the next streaming. Okay, so, but you are at right place and happy to have you here. Okay, I hope I answer your question, and if you have further questions, feel free to drop, and I will come back again on the chat screen. So let's move on to the next one. So these are about, so far we have learned command cat. Oops, sorry, again it has opened the cat. We have learned less, we have learned more, we have learned. So basically, if you see, so there initially it's very confusing and it feels like there is no difference in less and more, but yes, it's more, less is more powerful, okay, and then the more, and that's why we do the less instead of more. All right. And you may be seeing me, I will be using less. I mean, you already observed that initially when I open a file, I use less rather instead of more. Okay, so we are not doing any bad, I mean, comparison of good or bad. Both has it on plus and minus, or I mean, both are good, great at their own places. Okay, my preference is less, which is more, I would say, the advanced. Okay, so let's stick with the greatest and latest and advanced things. All right. So it's more about on the this commands. Let me show you one more command, which is head. Okay, so head command, what it does, it gives you the first part of the files. Okay, so first, what does it mean? I'll show you shortly. Okay, and when I switch again back to terminal, so whenever you want to see any of the file which is very big, okay, and if you want to see some content of the file, okay, or upper part or first part or beginning part of the file, you use a head command. Okay, it has some options. I mean, syntax is again the same, command name head, okay, options and file. So let me put less, more, and now we are doing head. All right. So here the thing is, okay, what I was talking about. Anyway, let's come back. Yeah, I was saying syntax is the same. It has options and the file. An example is also like this: head, the subcube, and the file name. And by default, when you open a file, it gives you the first 10 entries or first 10 lines of the file. Okay. Next, I would like to show you another command, tell, which is just opposite to head. Head gives you the upper part, tell gives the lower part of the file, and both gives you by default the 10 lines of the file. Okay, so always remember these are the default values, and maybe I don't know if you are more into scripting side or data processing side, so it might be a question. I use both the commands and how we use actually this both command in action. So let's go ahead and see that in action. Right, so head, and let me put also in chat tell. And for that, what we are going to do, we already have files over here. All right, so first let me do the tell, and for this I would like to use this one. Okay, so when I put tell, okay, first, anyways, there is no difference for the order, so let's see with the first. Okay, When you execute this command, tell output.txt, okay, on your terminal, you get the, let me give you this command in the chat, okay. And now, so when I was talking about, it gives us a last 10 lines. So our file has total 20 lines, okay, line number 1 to 10. And when we use the command tell and output.txt, it gives us a last 10 lines, okay, because tell, yeah, it's a purpose of tell, right? So output the last part of a file. This is the synopsis. It means it's the syntax of this. And here it is also mentioned, print the last 10 lines of each file to standard output. So standard output, it means it's, I mean, if this is a new term for you, and I'm assuming, yes, it is new because it's a, we are starting with the Linux, right? And it's a beginner one. So standard output, it means whatever we are seeing over here on the screen. Okay, this is our standard input. Okay, so this is the main page. We have several options like F is followed. I'm coming on that. This is one of my important, and I will also tell you what is the utility of it. Okay, and we also have other options as well. So after that, you may explore it more later. Okay, so here, when I say 10, okay, so what happened in that case when we don't want the last 10 lines? So in that case, we have option dash n, and I want to see only one line from this file. Let me clear the screen, and oh, sorry, what I have done, tell dash n, and we want to see output dot. Okay, so here what we have got, here we got line number 20. Okay, so but it is not line number 4, I mean line number 1. Okay, because tell start to display line from the below, okay, or from the bottom. So when I say line number 2, then it gives us a line number 20 and the 19. Okay, and similarly if you put maybe 3 and so on and so forth. Okay, so you can also control how many lines you want using the tell command. Next option, we have like dash f option. Okay, so this is very helpful. For example, this one, so you could see um, here the cursor is a stop, okay, and it is blinking. So this is very helpful, very handy option when especially you are, for example, I mean, where I used it. So when I set up the web server first time, okay, and I have to set up, let's say, the proxies, the certificates, and see whether I'm getting proper output or not. If any error is there, for example, site, let's say you access the website on registration link. Okay, so registered page should be come over there, right? I'm just giving you example. So if it is not, so where would you see the logs? So you will see the logs on the log file, right? But if you want to see in a live, so for example, logs are, so many logs are there, and your server is not on set on, let's say, UTC, set as a UTC time and showing the logs. So you could just say, okay, follow this trail of this file. So new, because always new logs will come at the end. Okay, and you can quickly see, okay, this is the problem, and you can quickly grab the logs and put in your favorite AI, or if you know the solution directly, go ahead and look into this. Okay, so this command is very helpful. This is also same if you work with the container or Kubernetes. There also you have the follow the container or pod logs. Okay, so dash f option is very helpful. This is one utility. Let me tell you more use cases for where you could use. But before that, I would like to show you the command head, which we just used, right? So head and same options. Okay, so we didn't provide any option. We provide only option, I mean, the command, right? And the name of the file. Okay, try this from your side if you're following along. So I have put in a chat. So this time what happened, line 1 to 10, it didn't. So let me show you once again. And on the other hand, okay, tell has given last 10 lines by default, and it has given us last, I mean not last, first 4 lines by default, right? So what you have to do, if you are interested, okay, we will use this in when we go for user management in our day 4. Okay, we will use this more. Okay, so don't think we are end over here. So for head give you the first 10 line, tell give you the last 10 lines. And similar to head, you also, I mean, similar to tell, you also have option head dash n and output. So I want to see only one line, I can use something like that. If I want to see 2 lines, I could put, sorry, something like this. And similarly, 3 and so on and so forth, right? But you might be wondering, okay, I really not interested in this. So let me say tell. Okay, but I, for example, you might say, okay, I'm interested in particular line. Okay, so how would I get that? So guys, these two commands which I have just explained, these are very, 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 very helpful when you are doing scripting. There are other things as well, okay, by which you could um, use this, okay, or by which you could get this information, but we are learning how we can use in real life in head and tell commands. Okay, so these are not only the example, these are some of the examples which I'm telling you. Okay, and based on that you could also develop your own logic and apply this command. Okay, so what I could do, for example, I want to see out of this line number some of the lines, or let's say mm, any line. So let's do something like this, tell and output.txt. And so first let me show you what it does. It gives like this, okay. And what I want to do, I want to see a line number first, or first line of this out of this. So I will do head dash n and 1. So I got line number 11. Okay, and you can also restrict if you want to see line number 11. So you could only say dash n and so, oops, sorry, not like this. I'm sorry about that, it won't work in this way, because tell line number 1, it means it start with bottom, so we get only this one. So we also come on that if you are wish for particular line, okay, how you can get it. So in this case this one, and again the same thing happening, right? When I put 2, then it is giving me the output like this. So there are some other utilities which I use in shell scripting. So let me first give you this option, okay, chat, then I'll show you this command. Okay, we have a question. Suraj, keeping space in bit is mandatory or for any command if I want to say. So you mean, okay, so for example, okay, Suraj has a question. So is this your question, like the space which I have put in between? Is this your question? So you're asking something like this, or this space, or putting this space is mandatory? Okay, so the thing is, let's do, why not, let's see in practical. So what happened, it says command not found. Okay, so what happening over here, what we are actually doing it over here, so we didn't make this, right? We didn't develop it. This is the system. Okay, in our system we have a utility, and by this utility we are executing. So shell is expecting this is the, because if you have some command, like you can also create your own command and put in leave, I think, bin section, yeah, there you can put your script and it can perform something like that. But when we put, or when we execute command, it says command not found, because For shell, okay, this is the shell, okay, and how we can see this is the shell. So if I do echo shell, okay, so I'm using bash, okay, and if you want to see what do you have, okay, and slash etc shells, so here you find all kinds of shells available with this system, okay. So come back to the point here. The thing is, yes, we have to, because this is meaningful part. Okay, if I say something else you don't understand, then what what will you do? You will just abandon, right? Or you will not get the thing. So similarly, it says something command not found. So that's why we have to put a space in between. There are other ways as well to execute, but let's not go into that direction. Let's keep it simple. Definitely, I will show you other options as well later on. All right. I try to answer so your question. If yes, please. If it is clear, please drop yes, or if it is not, please drop no. I will provide the more information. I will explain more. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and see the options which I wanted to show you. Yes, I was talking about sid command, right? So sid dash and sid is also utility. And let's see something if we have. So stream editor for filtering and transforming text. Okay. Yes, we do this, but sometimes head and tails are also very, very helpful. So it's up to you, whatever you want to do. I'm just giving you a shortcut over here. So I wanted to see the line number 20 only. So what I could do something like this, sid dash n, then line number 20 dash p and the file name output bar. So I got line number 20. Okay, when I put something, I'm interested in line number 11. So line number 11 is there. Okay, line number 1 is there, and so on and so forth. Okay, so you could use it. This command, there is one more command. Okay, thank you, Suraj, for confirming. So this is one command I just posted this in a chat. You can also try from your side. One more utility I would like to show you. It's a awk. Okay, so it's a gawk awk. Okay, pattern scanning. So basically, this I use for the in scripting when I have to grab particular thing. Okay, as a pattern, but we can also use this over here. Okay, and how we can use it, so there is option and r, and I could say one line number one I want to get out of it, and output.txt line number one is there. Oops, option, and if I want to see line number 20, 20 is there. If I want to see line number 21, so of course we have up to 20 lines, so we got the output. I mean, we got nothing. It means there is no error in Linux. It means the your command got executed successfully, and which is very helpful. Okay. Okay, I'm going more into the scripting side, but always remember, if you execute, for example, I hit enter, okay, and it is going down, I mean next line, it means whatever operations I perform on the shell, okay, that happened successfully. Linux only tells you when you have any error. Okay, for example, q, so it says command and all these things, right? So it's very amazing. So let me give you this as well, so you can try and keep in your notes if you want to. All right, so we have learned this one. One more thing I would like to mention over here. Uh, of course, there are so many things, but just we are starting. I don't want to overwhelm you, but at the same time, I would also like to uh, think the concept what happened when you, I mean, how you use actually. Okay, it is not just about this command is this command is this command has this option. Okay, for that I already explained. We have a man pages, right? We have help like this. Okay, we can read. So but where we use it, right? So that's a thing. And live you can also practice from your side. All right, so one more thing I wanted to show you. For example, I mean, I use it in when I written some of the scripts where, especially in Kubernetes. Yeah. So when you need output of from the file from particular output, okay, so how you could do this? For example, um, I wanted to see only line number 15 to 70. Okay, how we can see the particular line? So I have told you, right? Seed and awk is a option. But if I want to see some of the lines from the output, okay, so how I could use add the, let's say 15 to 17. So um, give it a, let's 17, and from output.txt, and I would use tell and tell dash n. So I got line number from 15 to 17. Okay. Similarly, if I want to see, let's say 5 to 10, so what I will do, I will put 10 over here, and uh, 5 to 10, 10. Okay, I'll show you the logic as well. Okay, so I have line number from 5 to 10. Okay, so what's the logic over here? Head. Okay, first we use head. Okay, in head I have put the line number, the last line number. In that case, I wanted to see line number 15 to 17, so last line number was 70, for example. Okay, I also just put a 17 number, so you know, okay, this is the line number 70. All right. Similarly, how I get to know this value? So it's very simple thing. This line number, I mean the last line minus the start line. I wanted to see line from 15 to 17. So I simply did the math. 17 minus 15, it's 2 plus 1. So I got 3 over here and I put it. Similarly, here I also did the same. 10 minus 5 is 5 plus 1 is 6, and I got the this many lines. Okay, line number 5 to line number 10. So just to play around it, okay, explore it, and go to your favorite AI, just chat. They talk, okay, I need some more use cases on this, and you will get one. Okay, so I think this much information is enough on all these commands. Okay, I can keep on talking on this, but these are foundation. Okay, if you are going next to learn shell scripting or bash scripting, these commands which I'm showing you are best for those as well. Okay, I also told you how you can use if you are working as a data engineer or maybe analyzing a log file or code review or something. So cat command is also very helpful, right? So this many things on this. Let's see. Mm, what do we have? Okay, so here is the summary whatever we have learned so far. So uh, cat, okay, concatenate and display, it is also a useful option I mentioned over here. Less, more, both same, but my preference is less, okay, which has more functionality, more facility. Just write on your favorite AI the difference between less and more, but first do the practice. Okay, after that you get a lot of more things as well. Then head, just top, okay, display the first part of the file. Tell displays the last part of the file, and we also see where we can use different scenarios about this. Okay, so if anybody has any questions, please drop them, and if no, then we'll go ahead. Okay, so I take it as a no, and so it's my time to ask a question to you. I expect you guys to please participate in this. Okay, so first question: what does the cat command do? Changes the current directory, list files in directory, and concatenates and display the contents of files, display the last few lines of a file. Good, good. Okay, we got answer. Okay, anybody else would like to participate? All right. So let's see. Yes, concatenate and display the contents of the file. Very nice. Next, we have option which command allows you to view the content of a file on screen at a time with the ability to navigate using arrow keys. Option A, cat. Option B, less. Option C, had. Option D, tell. Guys, I'm looking for your participation. Please. Right, we got one option B. All right, so let's go ahead and see the this one. Yeah, less is the command. Okay, less and more perform the same, but less has the ability to give you or navigate through the arrow keys. Okay, so great. Next question. All right. So no worries at all. It's just a guessing. Okay, we are. I mean, here the question just for fun. It's not like any right or wrong answer. There is nothing like that. Just for fun to just to recall what we learned. Okay. So here, which command is best for monitoring a log file in real time? Cat, less, had, and tell. Any guesses? All right. Let's see. So the right option is D, okay, which I explain you. The tell is when you follow, if you want to follow any of the log file, and if you want to see what is happening in real time, so that is the option for you. You could have very handy for you. Okay, so that's the end of the Q&A. Next part is we are going to start files editing, and in this we are going to learn the one and only, yes, for me it's the one and only Vim editor. It's one of my favorite, very nice tool, okay, for file editing. So first of all, I mean, why you want to use, I mean, Vim is not only editor. In Nano by default, in Ubuntu by default you get Nano editor. Okay, I will also show you how you can make a default Vim editor, I mean default editor, text editor as a Vim. Okay, and if you are on GUI, then text editor is also there. Before it used to call gedit when I started, I think Ubuntu or 8 version, or in RHEL something long back, 3 or 4 or maybe 5 version. Okay, so but by the time everything got improved, and we also have utilities. Okay, so still Vim is very powerful, especially if you're writing humanities exam. There you will find this one. Okay, so make sure you have this. Okay, and why do you need to learn this? Because when you accessing a server, and on server you do not have any option, right, to access any file, because on server you don't have GUI at all. So like this, okay, that's why I'm not using GUI at all, which I explained in very first day. And but in very first day I explained how you can install operating system, okay, in day one, and I explain you the GUI version. But still I ask you to, not ask you, sorry, I recommend you to do SSH from your, if you're on Windows on your new system, do SSH to that virtual machine and execute command remotely. Then you actually feel how you work on remote system. Okay, so let's come back over here. So Vim has very first thing. First we understand how what happened when we use a Vim. Okay, So very first thing, it has a Vim comes with some of the modes in that. Okay, so I try to explain at my current potential. I have prepared this animation or this diagram for you. If you like it, let me know, give it thumbs up. Okay, if you don't like it, also let me know how I can improve this. Okay, so when you open first time Vim editor, okay, how, so you are in normal mode, so you want think what is normal mode. So let's go ahead and see. So for example, you have to type command vim in order to access the editor. After that, it editor looks something like this, or it opens something screen like this. Okay, so this is called your normal mode. Okay, when you open it first time, and in order to interact with Vim, what you have to do, you have to press I. Okay, there is more options as well. We are coming on that, but very first time, or very first thing, if you want to interact with the Vim editor, okay, or if you want to write something, then you have to press I. Okay, when you press I, then here on this bottom, okay, you insert into, or you uh, your mode of the Vim is changed to insert mode. It means after that you are able to write into the file. Okay, and here on the bottom of the editor you will see the insert, something like this. Okay, so now it confirms your mode has changed. But if you have changed your mind, you don't want to write anything, you want to exit or do something else, so what you have to do, you just press escape key on your keyboard. Okay, and this insert mode disappear from over here, and where you come back again, you come back again to the normal mode. So you start with the normal mode and again you come back to the normal mode. This is first thing. There is another way. Okay, one more mode is there. So initially, always you start with, like I mentioned over here as well, start here and return here for navigation. There is option V. V is a visual mode. So it's like when you press shift and scroll multiple lines in a file. Okay, so you are selecting multiple lines. Okay, and if you want to select all, then you have option Control A and you can copy and paste somewhere else. But in text editor you don't have that facility. Then what you could do, there is option V. Okay, V is visual mode, and when you press V here on this side or left side of the screen, extreme bottom, visual mode. Okay, and once you press escape, then again this mode has gone and you return back to normal mode. Okay, so I just to try to demonstrate, that's why I put the same. You start here, press V, you entered into visual mode, then you press escape to exit from that. Next mode, okay, which is really amazing, because here you can also execute commands. Okay, some of the commands I'll explain you in the when we switch to the terminal, but here just I'm telling you what happened. So to go into the command mode, you have to press colon. Okay, like this, and once you press colon, so on this side you may see this colon, and once you are in the command mode, then you can type a command. But of course, to get out from here or to exit, you have to press escape button. Okay, and again you are in normal mode. Okay, so let's go into the command mode. So here if you see, again we were at normal mode, then we press colon, right, and we got over here. And here if you see, on this screen we have this command, it says type colon q and hit enter. So let's do this, right? So let's put colon q, then press or hit enter. Then what happened, you quit the vim editor. Simple, right? And what happened, so everything is over here. This is your main thing. You have normal mode, you have insert mode, you have visual mode, you have command line mode. Okay, you start always from normal mode. So don't mug up these things when you start working on it. I mean, I personally mm, think, okay, initially when very first time my instructor explained me, I mean he explained very well, but when um, I saw this, like, why I have this many things over here. Okay, it should be very easy, right? Very convenient to me. But I literally initially it feels very confusing. But as I'm telling you, when you start working with this, you really don't think about, okay, you are in command line mode, or you are in visual mode, or you are in insert mode. You just start tapping the things. You press, if you want to write or edit the files, you just press I, typing your work. After that, you press escape, the colon and Q and W and bang and all, blah blah blah, and you are done with that. But in, if you are starting, so you should know what happened. Okay, so that's why I explained this. You always start from here and also return to normal mode. Okay, and in order to edit a file, you have to press I. In order to, or if you don't want to listen this word, okay, insert mode, visual mode, or command line mode. So simple, I will explain this like, if you want, if you open file and if you want to edit, you press I, then you do your work. Okay, then you don't press just escape, you do something else. And if you want to perform or select multiple lines, then you press V and use up and down arrow key to select the lines. Okay, and also shortcuts as well. Then if you want to perform something after like editing the file, if you want to quit or save that, then you press colon and perform some of the options over there. Okay, let me show you how actually it happens. So very first thing in this, here we have one file. Okay, I mean, we do not have any file like this DSOCube -vim.demo.txt. So one utility, I mean, one way we already saw, using a cat to create a file. Okay, here is another way by which we can create, and this is also so either you can, if this file is already present, still you can use vim, okay, and file name in order to edit, or if you are creating file first time. Okay, so you could simply vim and the file name. And also, like we talk in, I think day two, touch is also one of the command to create empty files, right? So still, any file you can open like this. After that, what happened, the file has opened something like this. Here you could see the file name. After that, so here what happened, you are in normal mode. Now you have to write something. Okay, in order to write, what you will do, you press I, okay, just to change the mode. And when you press I, then you entered into the inserted mode, and here you are able to see insert. After that, okay, once you are in insert mode, then what happened, you could type, this is the sockvimdemo.txt file. So I have done in, what I have done, I have written this text into the file and insert, and I'm in insert mode. After that, I have to save this. So in order to save this, first I have to press escape. Okay, why escape? Because you start in normal mode, and then you have to come back over there. Right? So we have pressed escape from insert, something like this. Then insert mode has gone. Again, you are in normal mode, right? And after that, you have to press colon in order to save the file. So now we have to perform some command. We are asking Vim to perform something. It means it has to recognize some input from our side, and there are predefined commands for that, and that's why command line mode is there. And in this here, okay, when I press this one, colon, escape and colon, it shows like this. Then after that, there are multiple ways. I If you are working on a file, okay, and if you want to keep on saving, so just use W and hit enter, so you won't get exit from the file, and you can continue work on that. Like when you work on any of the GUI based editor, then you all the time press Control S in order to save the file time to time. Nowadays we also have option auto save, right? Similarly, if you want to do something like that, so you can use colon W, hit enter, the file will be saved, and you can keep on working that. But once you are done, so in that you could use W, Q, and this exclamation or bang marks. It means save it and quit it. Okay, and then hit enter. You are come back, and after that, if we come back, we can see the file has been created -t over here. Okay, it's very simple. And if you want to see what happened over the time, so we started over here vim this cube, then when we open, we were in normal mode, then we want to edit the file, so we press I, and after that we insert it, okay, in this mode. And after performing this one, we press escape and the colon, okay. So when you press escape, then you bring or you come back to normal mode, and after that you press colon, and command line mode as enabled. After that you put something like this, save and exit, and come out like this, okay. So this is the overall flow of Vim editor, okay. And I think this much is enough on this. Now it's time to see in action how it works, okay. But before that, do you guys have any questions, or do you want me to explain this flow more, or should we go to the terminal and see the in action? Please, quick reaction. Okay, so I take it as a no, and let's go back to the terminal and explain you over there. Okay, so very good question. Suraj has asked what's the difference between WQ and WQ bang or exclamation. So sometimes what happen when you open a file, okay, and it didn't get closed properly, okay, and because maybe you experience when you work with any Word file or something, so there are temporary files created, okay, or we can call it as a in memory or buffer file or temporary file. So what happened? You close the file, but file was not closed. And when you open, or this is one scenario. Second scenario, if many other people are working on the file, okay. For example, I open a file, and you at the same time you also want to open a file and you want to save, okay. And in that, I didn't make any changes, and I simply exit from the file, okay. In that case, you are trying to save your changes, but because there is a temporary file over there, and that because of that you are not able to, so in that case we use the bang sign at the end. So it means we are asking, do it forcefully, okay. So this is the difference. I hope I answered. So let me show you over here how it works. So let's come back to this screen, and very first thing, vim editor. All right. Second. So we have to open a Vim editor. So I have opened a Vim editor, right? And now I want to quit. So what I could do, I could simply say quit queue. I open it again. I could also say something like this, and it has exited. So sometimes it's the same when you perform, right? I mean, when any application is not responding on the system, so we go to task manager and um, end the task from there, right? We kill the process. And in Mac also we do the forcefully quit from the docs, right? So similarly in Linux we do kill the process. So this happens the same, right? So let's see. This time I'm gonna create one file. We what do if what files we have. But before I'll show you how you can create a file. Let me okay, let's go ahead and open a file. So let's say vim file dot txt. So, okay, now if you see here, I have Vim file one and new. And if I want to put something, so this is Vim file. We are fine with that. Okay, now, I mean, I was too fast, sorry. So I'm in normal mode. So not now what I have to press escape button on my keyboard. I press that. Okay, now, so let me start over. So I'm done with the editing the text. After that, I have to come out from the insert mode over here. So what I will do, I'll press escape. So again, we start from the normal mode and we again return back to normal mode. After that, I press shift. Shift. I don't know in your keyboard what is that. So colon is this true? Okay. So after that, what happened? I want to save. I don't want to quit. Okay. So I have saved and it says return, right? And after that, what happened? I want to open a new file, a new line. And here I could say this is next level. This time I'm done with editing. I do not have further things or further text to add into the file. Then I'm in insert mode and we know to come out from the insert mode, I have to press escape. Okay, let me show you again. I was in insert mode. I press escape, then colon, and this time I want to quit. Okay, so instead of that, if you ask me, okay, could we really do the quit? So I already explained you Q. So I hit enter and it says no written since last changes, okay, to overwrite. Okay, so this time it is asking me to perform something. So I have to press escape, colon, Q, and I'm using this option. And now I have come out of the file and the last line was not there, right? I have just, that's why I copied it. And now I press O in order to open a new line or next line. Then I press Control V. It works for me. Or if you are on Windows and Linux, and Control Shift. Okay, whatever the options you use, most of the options are same, but you have to use in the conjunction with Shift key. Okay, Control Shift C, Control Shift V, something like that. So I press Escape, colon, and this time I want to Q and W. Okay, I didn't press exclamation mark, but still my contents are there. Okay, and see, this time I don't want to go in the file. I just want to see the content of the screen temporary or in buffer. So this is in memory. This is buffer. Okay, and when I press Q, it means the file has gone from the memory. Okay, it doesn't load everything. So okay, so this is the way by which we can use. Now let me show you more thing over here. Um, let me open one file. Let's say, okay, let's stick with this. So when you press L, okay, or maybe let me show you in this file SSH. Okay, so here when we press L key, then it is going to the right side. Okay, so cursor will move to right side. When you press H, okay, then the cursor move to your, I mean your witness the left side of this screen. When you have to come down, then you have to press J key, J, okay, and K is for up. Okay, these are the navigation option. And maybe you're saying, okay, you are on terminal, I mean you are accessing it, and in this terminal emulator we have option we can do with the scrolling, right, or arrow keys as well. But when you access server, okay, something let me show you over here. Okay, so when we access the server, if are we able to access? Okay, I don't know. Maybe. Anyways, uh, okay, okay, it's not working. But anyways, you have already virtual machine, so let me log in it. Anyways, so when you log in on that actual server, right? So you don't have this option. So where you have to rely on the shortcut keys or the editor, okay, whatever keys you have. Okay, you have to rely on that. So that's it. That's there. That's why I'm telling you the option. So when you press L, cursor will move to your on the right side. When you press H, it goes to the left side. Okay, and if you have to jump to the line one line down, okay, so J is the option, and K if you want to move up. Okay, J is to move down. Okay, so this is one thing. Next thing, okay, this is just a navigation. We are in the file. I have to go. Okay, uh, I want to go up, so I will press K. So I'm pressing K. I have to come down. I press J, and I'm pressing H. So it is cursor is moving towards the left side, and L is for the right. Yeah, I mean, I wonder it should be like left is for left side and R is for right side moving and something like that. But these options are there since long, and yeah, we are using it. So you will be used to with this. So enjoy with that. Next thing I want to show you over here. Let me go. Okay. So as I initially I told you, okay, let me change the file because that will be more better to show you. Okay. So initially I told you when you press I, then you go to insert mode. Okay. So this time I press I, but you have more options. What you could do, you could also press A. Okay. If you are, please, if you are following along with me, so please do it. Type I. Okay, and check, then press escape, type A, and you will realize you are in insert mode. Okay, and this is one option. You also have option press O. So O option is already I use. So if I want to open, okay, I mean, I want to move my cursor to the next line as well as directly go to the insert mode, so I have option O. And let's undo it, and if I use something like this, okay, so this is the option O to just go like this. Okay, so what is the difference over here? For example, my cursor is over here. Let me keep it at line number 3, and I press I now. So I'm typing ABC, or maybe let's do something like this so you can see. I'm typing ABC. So when you press I to I into go to the insert mode, then what happens? It inserts text before the cursor. Okay, so that's why we are able to see like this. So let me undo this. So in order to undo, I have to just press U, and the text has undo, and I'm at normal mode. This time I'm doing A means after sorry, let me turn off the caps first. So A, it means now whatever I'm typing, it will go after the cursor. Okay, so this time I'm typing A, B, and C. Okay, let me show you once again. Undo, 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 undo. Anyways, so now in order to delete this text, what I have to, okay, so what I could do, I press X in order to delete. Okay, let me show you once again. When you press I, okay, so text added before the cursor. Okay, whatever cursor, wherever cursor is, so I'm typing here, let's say ABC. Okay, so text has added over here. Let me put it again on this line, and this time I'm in normal mode and I'm pressing A, and this time again I'm typing XYZ. Okay, so before I pressed I, then text appended or written before over here. Okay, and if you want to add after, so for example, for my understanding, what my concept I have created, usually we write, okay, in copy or notebook also we write like this is and this is, okay, next word. So instead of I use A in order to add the content normally inside the file. Okay, so but whenever or wherever you see any of the diagram, you find eyes for the insert mode. Okay, and I press only U to undo, and when I press Control R to redo. Okay, so undo and redo. So U is for undo, Control R is for redo. U is for undo, Control R is for redo. Okay, so remember these are the options inside your insert mode. And if I want to open like this, so when I press O, so cursor will jump to the next line, and as well as I have opportunity to edit the text over there. And again, I'm doing U. Okay, so these many options for the insert mode. Okay, next what? If I want to go on very top or very first line, so I'll press G. Okay, and when I press Shift G, okay, so I have pressed G two times, small g or simple G, let's say. So you have to press two times G in order to go to very top of the file. And if you want to go at the end of the file, so you have to press Shift GG. Okay, let me show you over here, because we have bigger file over here. What happened? I am here, G and G. When I press Shift G G, okay, then I press O. So usually what happened when you are working on, or if you want to add something, okay, for example, you are setting up an environment, you are setting up some kind of configuration in your bash file. I will show you later on in the upcoming session, right? So what happened there, if you have to append, okay, you don't mess up with the configuration of the file. Okay, let me show you SSH, this one. So for example, this is the configuration file of the SSH server. Okay, so you don't want to mess up with that. So what you will do, you come at the end, Shift GG, then press O. Directly you come into the edit mode or insert mode. Okay, then you can type your content over here. I press U to undo that. If I want to go on the top, if I have to add something over here, any description or something, comments like this, so I will press GG, it will go to top of the file. And if I press Shift GG, it will go at the end. And if I want to add it, then I will simply press O. Okay, I won't do like this. I'm over here, then I go insert mode and hit enter. No, so directly Shift, let me do so I'm at top, GG, Shift GG at the end. Then instead of typing I and enter, hit entering, simple I hit O. That will provide me the facility by which I can directly jump or come into the this mode. Okay, so these many things are enough. Next thing which I would like to over here in output file. Okay, so for example, I want to copy line number 20. Okay, because what we do in text editing, we copy and paste, right? So we have to copy. For example, I have to copy line number 20. Let's go to top, GG, then I copy. And in order to copy, you have to just press P. Oh, sorry, not insert mode. So come on. Okay, oh, sorry, not P. I'm really sorry about that. Yank, Y is the option. Okay, when you press this letter, let me show you this, what I'm typing here. This one, Y. Okay, I'm just type Y. Two time I have pressed Y, it means the lines are copied. And in IAM editor, it's called yank. Then wherever I want to go, for example, Shift GG, and I want to paste it over here. So line number 3 is copied and I paste this over here. I want to paste it more, so I just hit P just to paste. Okay, and the lines are copied for me as many times as I. And now I accidentally copied this so many times. So what I could do, I can select D. Let me show you over here. Let's say we want to delete this line. Okay, line number 3 is deleted. Okay, now again I'm pressing D. You could see, I think, yeah, over here. Okay, on the screen I have pressed until all the lines, line number 3 has deleted. Okay, all lines are deleted now. But if I have option undo, so I can press U, you could see a very fraction of second something come up over here. When I press U, I don't know, it's not coming. Anyways, then I can do Control R, okay, to in order to redo the changes. Okay, so undo, redo, copy, paste. So for copy, you press Y, and to paste, you press P. Okay, these are the option. To in order to delete the lines, we use D. Okay, let me undo this first of all. So for example, I have copied multiple lines over here. Okay, so in order to delete multiple lines, so simply I want to, how many lines we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, So we seven total we have pasted. Let's shift GG. Okay, okay, we have so many actually. So what we can do from over here. Okay, I want to delete last 10 lines. So my cursor is over here on my keyboard. I have pressed 10. Okay, thank God it's showing over here. Okay, let me show something like this. Okay, on this side of the screen, you will be able to see I have just hit 10. I mean, yeah, 1 and 0. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna type DD. Okay, so all the lines has gone 10 lines. So we have total 13 lines. Let me undo this, and this time I'm pressing 13, and which you could see over here. Okay, and now I'm pressing D. Okay, and all the 13 lines have gone. Okay, so this is the way you can delete the lines. If I want to delete more lines, let me go up. I'm deleting the lines one by one. Okay, and if I just hold, so all lines are gone, and I do undo. Okay, so I have the option. So I'm again the undo, shift GG again on the top of the line. Okay, so these are the options, are very handy options available for us. We can do more stuff with this. So this is about the deleting, copy, paste, undo, redo. Okay, now next thing is the visual mode. So I have pressed V. So you have this one, and this time simple. You can also use cursor, but I'm not, instead of, I mean, up and down arrow key if you want to. Okay, and you could also use in order to select the particular word. Okay, if I want to select multiple lines, I could use J. I don't want to use this line, I'm using H. Okay, and same thing. Okay, in order to copy, I have to do yank, and if I go at the bottom, and this time you don't have to change the mode, you must be in normal mode, and then press P. Okay, then all the lines are copied over here. Okay, this is in visual mode. Visual mode is very helpful, especially where I use it when I use in exam. Okay, where or also I use for scripting when I have to comment out the multiple lines. Okay, or something like this. Okay, so in that we can use that. So I think it's too much on this. I already explained about the command line mode as well. But one more thing I would like to I would like to say, for example, here the command mode, right? We saw Q, we saw W, we saw QW or bang and all these things. But here you can also open a file. So for example, we split, I think, yeah, and we have output, and we had one file, I think, cat. When you open something like this, so okay, so now you see at the same terminal. Okay, you can open two files, and if I want to exit, so I have to again come to the normal mode, press escape, colon, and Q. If I press Q, okay, so I'm just exit from one file. So what I'm going to do now, again, we split, and cat, I open a file again, and if I want to exit from all the files, so I will press Q, all, or I'm come out from all the files. Additionally, one more option, which is my very favorite, I use it very often, and which is also very handful. So when I say dash O, cat file, output, okay, so files are open, something like this. Okay, but I don't like to see, because when you have lots of content, okay, mostly you write, you see a file configuration file or something like that. If you have very or lots of content, then you go in this mode. So I press escape, colon, Q, all. Okay, I don't want to see horizontally, so rather I want to see them vertically. So what I will do, this O, before I use a small o, now I will use uppercase O. And let's go back, and now the files are open vertically. Okay, and here you can also perform other commands as well. That's why it is called command line mode. It is not just uh, they just think, okay, let's do it. Okay, it's not like that. So what we are going to do, So I'm using Control W in order to navigate in between. You could see the control sign is represented like this and like this. So Control W in this file, Control W in this file. Okay, and this time I press GG. So my cursor is over here, and I want to quit from this file. So I am in this file. Okay, colon here on this bottom, if you see. Okay, colon Q and bang. All right, so we are over here in this file. So far I have explained a lot of, I mean, I have so many things to share with you on VIM editor. But for today, I want to show a last thing, and which is really amazing. So amazing it means. So we see how we can copy, how we can cut, how we can paste, how we can navigate, how we can open, how we can perform the commands when you are particularly inside a file. If you want to replace, right, sometimes we have to find and replace. So first find anything. So let me show, okay, let me show you over here. Obviously we have all the lines. Okay, so when I say dash line, then you can see the line. Okay, something like this. Then press hit enter, right? Then that's how you find. But for finding we have something else. So I would like to mention over here um, how you can replace any content. So in order to replace a content, what you have to do, for example, let's open here new. Okay, and sorry, here as well new, and new, or maybe I can yank YYPP. Okay, and let me delete these blank lines. I have deleted. Right. So now what I'm gonna do, I want to replace this new with the old. Okay, I should have been type old maybe, but anyways. So what we have to go, I mean, we want to perform some command, right? So we have to go to command mode, and to go into the command mode, we must be in normal mode. Then we have to press colon, then we press S, then we say old, but we don't have a old. We want to replace new with the old. All right, so I hit enter, and you could see only this is performed. Only the one occurrence of new has been changed. But I want to perform more. Okay, for example, mm, let me go over here and copy this. Okay, new. So for example, I'm here. Okay, and I'm in command mode, and now again I set S, then new, okay, with the old. So only this is one, okay, only one letter or one match, whatever match has changed. Okay, so if you are doing something like this, so it changes only wherever your cursor and the in particular line. But what if I want to change in particular line everything? So let me do one thing, colon S, then new and old, and when I add G. Okay, so notice over here before, sorry, over here before I didn't add G, so only in this line this was replaced. But now this time I have added G and I changed it, so only in this line all the occurrence of that particular string or word, however you want to say it, has been changed entirely, but only with the one line, in only in one line. Okay, but what if I want to change new with old in everywhere in my file? So for that I have option. So I have to use what I have to use. Okay, look at over here. Sorry, not this one. Percentage S, then new, and then old, and globally. Okay, and let's see this time what happened. So you could see everything has been changed to the old. And this time if I want to change all the come on, as with line with the let's say L. Okay, so all L line has replaced with the L. Okay, so these are the three options. If you want to change particular word, then go with that. If you want to change all the string in that particular line, then you have option. If you want to change everything in your file, you could do that. And for your assignment, if you want to change a particular line number, anything, then how would you do that? So that's for your practice. Okay, perform that, do that by your own. So I have more things to do. If you want to learn or deep dive into Vim editor, please suggest. Okay, I would do more dedicated session on the Vim, because Vim is very, very powerful, very, very amazing. And yes, you will find it on many places. Okay, so if you have any questions, so please let me know. So we are end of the section of this. This is the just some of the theory, I mean not theory, the summary which I explain over here. So normal mode, insert mode, visual mode, command mode. Okay, and these are something like this. It's for you. Go ahead, read that, take a snapshot if you want to. If you, and keep with you, and just read once in a day, you will very familiar with this. Okay, so if you don't have question, then I have a quiz for you. Let's check our understanding. So it's, or say, let's make it a session. Let's have some fun instead of. Okay, so first question. Uh, what is the default mode when you open Vim Editor? Guys, please answer. Insert mode, visual mode, normal mode, command line mode. Great. We got answers. Suraj, good, good. Guys, please participate. Okay, we also got the good, good, good. All right, very nice. So thank you, guys. Well, let's check the answer. And normal mode, of course, very first time when we open, so it's the normal mode. Great, very nice, very nice. Next question: how do you enter insert mode to add text before the cursor? Press V, press colon, press I, press escape. Good, good, nice, nice. Yes, very nice. So we know for the visual mode, it's press colon for command mode and I is for this one, insert mode, and press escape to exit that. Very nice. All right. So next question: which command is used to open new line below the cursor in insert mode? Come on, guys, fast. Great, 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 great. All right. So yes, dash O option. Sorry, not dash O. When you press O, then cursor jump to the next line and directly entered into the insert mode. So very nice, guys. Thank you very much for participation. That's really amazing. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. So that's the end of the session. Okay, and here what we have learned today. And in order to summarize this, I would like to quickly show you something over here, not over here, here. Okay, this is the notes, the documents notes, which I have prepared for today's day 3, viewing, editing files in Linux. These are our social media handles and all these things. Please follow over here. And so this was the agenda today. What we have learned, we learned cat, less, more, had, tell. In editing files, we also learn how we can open, how we switch between the modes, uh, how we can save, right, and how we can edit and so on and so forth. And we also did hands-on for everything. Okay, and it has very I have explained what is what. Okay, here the command, everything is for you. The notes are prepared, and this will be, if you let me walk you through that first. So command add, tell. Okay, these are the options which I explained, shows last 20 lines. I also explained you how you could use other options as well. Okay, this is a summary, and this is the editing files using Vim. So you have the shortcuts, or everything is mentioned over here, like switching into the mode, how you can save, how you can navigate, how you can edit. Okay, search and next search, previous search, so on and so forth. Okay, you also have these practical examples. So, and of course summary. So this is what we have done. If you like these notes, please let me know in the comments if you like this. Okay, so I will be sharing this. If you want this, please let me know in the comments. I will share this and also prepare for more. And please, one more thing over here. So please do not forget to provide your feedback. Okay, because I'm also human like you. I also make a mistake like you, and I also learn like from my mistakes. Okay, so please do provide your feedback in the comments. And if anything you find with the document, these notes, please also report back so we can correct them. Okay, so let me know. I will share the notes with you, and this is the summary for the day, what we have learned so far. And in next session, again, that will be Friday 21st November, users and group. And for timing, we will post in a group what will be the time for that on the Friday 21st. Okay, and also our social media handles. And again, this is the group. I will put the link of this group in the description. And please join if you want to participate in discussion, have the following questions, and so on and so forth. And yeah, more questions. So we are running questionnaire series, okay, on our Instagram. If you want to participate and learn more about the Linux quizzes, right, you can do that, and notes will be shared over here. So this is final call. If you have any questions, so I'm here for you. Otherwise, we'll wrap up the session and see each other. Okay, so I thank you all again for participation, for joining today, and I hope you like the today's session. And I try my best. Well, I would not say the best, but at the current potential, I try to explain. If nothing is clear to you, and if you are watching it later on, once it is back on YouTube, right, as a simple video, please feel free to drop your questions in the comments. Okay, and about the notes, any feedback, how bad this session was, please put it over there. And if the things went other way around, please hit thumbs up, give it a like, give it a thumbs up to it. And if not, please let me know how to earn, because I believe the thumbs up is not just you give, I mean, it's not a giveaway thing, right? I have to earn this. So if it is the thing, please provide it. If you are not providing your thumbs up, right, or if you don't like it, please let me know how or what should I we improve in order to earn your thumbs up. All right, guys. So with that said, I'll let you go. You let me go, and I wish you a very good start of the week, though it's a Tuesday, but still. And see you on Friday, 21st November. Okay, please follow over here, join the group, okay, and follow on Instagram and I mean on the social media handles. We will post the timing over there. So big thank you and see you on Friday. Bye guys.